This has to be one of the coolest samples we've ever received. This is the Dreamcast version of the Onkyo wireless headphones. These are the CPTWS01A. If you Google that, you'll see that there's just the regular version. And then there's also these two, the Dreamcast one and the one we don't have, which is the Mega Drive, both by Sega. This is a collab. It does have Bluetooth. This is from Onkyo, but it has Sega licensing on it. Let's go ahead and open this up. Super excited to see how these look outside of just some images online. Oh my god, look at that! It's a little tiny Dreamcast, but it's elongated. That's not the actual proportions. Dreamcast, if you guys don't know, is a Sega console made in '98, and it went till about '01 in North America because it was just not that popular in terms of sales, but it actually lived for a very long time in Japan. It died around 2004, 2005, and it was actually still supported till '07, so it had almost a decade run, believe it or not. This is the cutest thing ever, look at that! So unfortunately, this doesn't abide by the 1-to-1 ratio of what a Dreamcast should look like. It's more elongated like a PS1, but either way, that's neither here nor there. You get a USB cable, it's not micro, actually, it's USB-C. What is this for? Oh, those are the little ear inserts. Okay, so we got those little ear inserts. Let's see if there's a little hello, congratulatory Sega message or something, and doesn't look like there is, and this is just the standard. Yeah, nothing specific about Sega on the actual documentation, but it does tell you how to use it all the same. Obviously, these are written in Japanese, but it is usable anywhere in the world. So let's see if we can... Oh my god, look at that. What high quality materials. This whole thing looks like it's got a pearl paint coat on it. And you get the Powered by Onkyo right there. Oh, there we go. Is there some Sega stuff on there? There is not. Okay, so there's not too much in the overall packaging outside of just the outer box that really differentiates this from the standard version. But let's look at these. You know what I would have really liked? An homage to the memory cards, because those memory cards were badass. So, looks like you have the control stick, which at the time I believe had some of the best range and overall feel. It was significantly better than the N64. The N64 was kind of jittery and slippery. This one had a far more greater feedback, and it had greater range, and it was overall a much better control stick on your fingers. It had little dots versus the weird kind of slippery plastic rings that the N64 had. And then there are the iconic buttons, the B, A, X, Y. You know what I found about the Dreamcast? The actual controllers themselves didn't have a whole lot of buttons. They didn't have any additional select button. They didn't even have triggers outside of R&L. They didn't have tertiary or secondary buttons of any kind, so it was kind of limiting in that way. So let's put these in right here and see which side they go on. How do these fit in? It goes like, they have to touch the pins, of course. Why am I taking so long to do this? Oh, they nestle so beautifully. Look at this. That is amazing. They even make little beeps and boops to tell you that it's charging. And then you close it like that. And that's it. You know, I would have liked to see them incorporate the disc opening when you press the open button, but that would have made the entire thing way bigger, because to be able to pull the earbuds from the actual opening would have been a grand feat. There'd be no way to really get your hand in there or anything like that. This is absolutely fantastic. I think it's really cool when companies like Onkyo and other brands that do collaborations with things that are such a cultural importance to us growing up, at least if you were the same age as us 80s and 90s people, is that when Dreamcast came out, it was, you know, only a few years after N64, and it blew the absolute socks out of the system in terms of the capabilities, the functionality, the fact that you can play Phantasy Star Online, you can play just these super high quality 128-bit games significantly before other manufacturers came out with their competitive console. Sega had always been ahead of the curve when it comes to 32X, CDs, online play, 128-bit consoles, color handheld. They were literally ahead of the curve and better on paper than every single competitive company in the scope. And it was kind of sad to see Dreamcast go, but it's nice that it will live on with little collaborations like this. If you want one of these, there will be some details in the overall comment section and the description down below. But for now, we're not going to listen to these because we're not going to say, hey, they sound good, because you're watching this and there's no way for us to let you hear these through a microphone. But we will try these on. We'll just give you guys a little bit of a snippet in the description as to how they feel, etc. But this is more of an homage to the actual case, the actual collaborative effort between Onkyo and Sega. I really wish we could get our hands on the Mega Drive version, but that's neither here nor there. This is one of the coolest things I've seen that shouts out to one of the greatest consoles in the scope.